Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of Science Computer Technology, STEKOM University in Semarang, Indonesia. For the webinar International Event Industrial Analyst Tripping Digital Information. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Novita and I will be hosting you for today's event. Now, please let's welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Omelianenko Vitalii, as a Doctor of Economy, Associate Professor, Head of the Project Technology Center from Ukraine, Dr. Husna Sarirah Husin, as a Senior Lecturer, Head of Research and Innovation Section from University Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, to the Honorable Mr. Wibi Alvianto, M.Pd, as a Director Student Affairs and Graphic Design Lecturer from STEKOM University, Indonesia. And last but not least, also to the honorable guest on audience. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being live streamed on Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And for today's event, we will start with Indonesia national anthems and continue with the opening speech by Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso as a rector of STEKOM University, represented by Mr. Ahmad Zainuri as a Dean of Entrepreneurship. And the next session, we will start for main event presentation by our special guest today and continue with Q&A session and time for picture and closing. Yeah, further and square of this morning agenda, we will sing our Indonesia national anthem. So for operator, you can start the video. Thank you. Thank you. And for the next session, we will welcome to our opening speech by Mr. Ahmad Zainuri as the Dean of Entrepreneurship. Yeah, for Mr. Ahmad, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Novita, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. I represent our rector today. Okay, greeting to all participants and also the honorable all students and all of audience. May I first take this occasion to pay tribute to all of the audience of this webinar international event with the title Industrial Analytics Driving Digital Information, organized by the University of Science and Computer Technology or STEKOM University in collaboration with University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Sumi State Pedagogical University, Ukraine. Welcome to the Honorable and the first Omelianenko Vitalii as a Doctor of Economics, Associate Professor, Head of the Project Technology Center from Ukraine. And the second for Dr. Husna Sarirah Husin, Senior Lecturer, Head of Research and Innovation Section from Malaysia. And the last, Dr. Wibi Alvianto, Dr. Wibi Ardi Alvianto, as a Director Student Affairs and Graphic Design Lecturer from Indonesia. And last but not least, also to the honorable guests and audiences. We are so glad to have all of you on this memorable occasion today that you will present insightful ideas according to your fields of expertise in this reputation. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to this webinar international. I believe this event will improve the knowledge and experiences of all participants and provide significant scientific contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope through this webinar international event, we can get more information about industrial analytics driving digital information. To conclude, I would like to thank the International Affair Organization of STEKOM University for making this webinar international event. And finally, I wish you to enjoy the program today and for participants to get new knowledge in the session today. Thank you and enjoy this event. Thank you, Ms. Novita. I will hand over this event on you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the contribution, Dr. Ahmad. And we will go to the main event for today, our audience. If you have any question from the speaker, please add them in the chat and we'll be to answer. Okay. And each presenter today, we will have about 30 minutes for the presentation. Yeah, for the rundown today, we will welcome for first speaker, Mr. Wibi Ardi Alvianto, and the second is Mr. Omelianenko Vitalii, and the last, Dr. Husna Sarirah Husin. Okay, now let's please welcome our first presenter, Mr. Wibi Ardi Alvianto. Yeah, for Dr. Wibi, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Novita, thank you for time for me. My audio is clear.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the audience for join to this event. Let me share screen my PPT. Okay, I want to start my material today. This is, we know about analysis, industry, and how to digitalism your company, your product. It's very important in this era. So I need to take this material for I give about conclusion with your company or your small store. So this is the title of my PPT about strength and weakness of Porter's 5-force model in industry analysis. So industry analysis refers to the application of strategic management tool to a particular industry to determine the competitiveness and attractiveness of the industry. With this explanation in mind, the importance of industry analysis in the strategic management process should be quite clear. The goal is to answer one key business question. Is this an interesting industry to be in? Using this knowledge, companies can try and develop suitable strategies to overcome threats in the industry and increase the company competitive advantage. This, in turn, will help ensure the long-term sustainable and profitability of the business. Definition of industry analysis in strategic management. In strategic management, industry analysis is taken from the work of Porter, 1980, who argued that there are five forces that shape the structure of an industry and drive competition, which can be analyzed to determine the potential profitability of doing business in that industry. Porter claimed that the collective threats of force determine the ultimate profit potential in an industry. Porter's five-force analysis or Porter five-force framework in 1980 can be used as an industry analyzing template to assess industry attractiveness to launch new business and to exchange existing business strategy. From a strategic perspective, the strengths of industry analysis as given by Porter are, first, the intensity of competitive rivalry in the industry, regaining power of buyers in the industry, regaining power of supplier in the industry, trade level of new entrants to the industry, trade level of substitute product or service. These forces are described further below in the next section, which can apply to industry analysis in order. And now we want to talk about definition of industry analysis in business plan. Although industry analysis relies heavily on Porter five-force framework, however, when developing a business plan, the industry must be analyzed in a holistic manner, which include the overall macro environment and of the company's internal strengths or weakness. That is why business plan must be drawn from external environmental analysis tools such as the PASD or PASDLA framework, along with internal environment analysis tools such as the SWOT metric or TOWS, in addition to using Porter five-force framework as an industry analysis tool. For a comprehensive business plan, the application of this tool should not stand alone, but must complement each other. For example, external environmental threats can be reduced by using internal threats as well as by exploring opportunities that exist within the industry structure. In addition, when developing a business plan, the weakness of Porter five strengths framework for industry analysis must also be considered, so that possible deficiencies are not ignored. The importance of industry analysis. It is very important to analyze an industry before you invest in any stock from it, because that way you can understand the macroeconomic factor that can influence your stock choice. There are several reasons why industry analysis is important, because it allows to you identify the best investment opportunity, understand how the industry works. You can evaluate the future prospect of the stock as well as the industry as a whole. Yes, because you know the why, it is time to understand the how. How can you analyze an industry? The answers lie in simple analysis tools such as SWOT, Porter's 5 force. Industry analysis objective. It is important to conduct an industry analysis before developing a business plan, as it allows the planner to decide on the best strategy that will ensure the long-term viability of a company in a given industry, taking into account specified industry component. The following are some of the objectives that may be assisted by conducting an industry analysis audit. First, you can identify the key industry drive and determine how the industry is currently structured. Analyze how industry structure affect the potential profitability of a business. You must understand how different industry forces will drive competition in the future. Utilize industry attractiveness factor when formulating business strategy. And the last, develop strategy that can rehab industry structure and support business growth. Factors include in industry analysis. Based on external environment, analyze such as PASTLE analysis, industry analyzing focus on industry component that can affect business operation. Porter's industrial analysis component or 5 force must be analyzed in detail to gain meaningful strategic insightful. Therefore, the analysis of the factor of the industry in its tracks must be looked at to determine whether that factor can act as a source of threats and drive of competition. So this is 5 components of industrial analysis proposed by Porter. First, intensity of competitive competition in the industry. Second, bargaining power, the buyers in the industry. Third, bargaining power of supplier in the industry. 4, trade and of new trend in the industry. And the last, trade of substitute product and service. First, intensity of competitive competition in the industry. This power is used to understand the level of threat posed by competition in the industry, which in turn can reduce the company's profitability. High competitive rivalry can arise from several sources, such as low barrier to entry, high control of buyer and or supplier, possibility of customer changing product, the balance of power among competing firms, low differentiation among industrial products, slow market growth, and high exit barriers. To determine the intensity of competitive rivalry, the analyst must look at all the factors in industry that might drive competition between firms. So, especially those offering the same or a very similar product to the same customer group. And second, bargaining power of buyer, the industry. The strikes are used to determine whether companies can effectively sell their product at high profit margin to buyer in the industry. Buyer in industry do not have to be end customers. For example, buyer of Procter & Gamble products such as shampoo are supermarket, not household user. Under the prevalence of certain conditions, buyers may have more bargaining power, such as limited number of buyers in the industry, low intercompany switching costs among buyers. There are a large number of companies competing for buyer, possibility of backward vertical integration among buyers. Analyze should focus on whether the overall power buyer can shape competition in the industry, because a high trade from buyer can reduce industry profitability and increase competition. And third, bargaining power of supplier in the industry. The power is used to understand the balance of power between suppliers and companies operating in an industry, which can affect a company's profit margin. If certain factors are favorable, suppliers in an industry may have bargaining power, which makes the industry less attractive, such as limited number of suppliers in the industry, high switching costs between suppliers. The supplier's brand is very strong with many customers. Forward integration by supplier is possible. Fragment customer with low bargaining power. Analyze should focus on how supplier power can affect firms in the industry and drive competition, thus indicating the overall trade level from supplier. 4. Trade of new entrants in the industry. This parameter is used to analyze the possibility of entry of the new companies into the industry, which can increase competitiveness, thereby threatening potential profit in the industry because it becomes less attractive. The likelihood of new firms entering in an industry depend on various barriers to entry, such as capital recruitment for entry, access to distributing channel or network, benefit of economic of scale, cost advantage regardless of size, possible retaliation from existing industry players, legislative or governmental action, differences within the industry. And 5, trade of substitute product and service. This power is used to understand if there is a possibility that customer will use a substitute product, usually from another industry, as an alternative that can meet their needs. Substitute products are not similar product from competitor, but rather they are a different product category that can offer similar benefit. For example, an Android phone is not a replacement for an iPhone, but a smartwatch or tablet can act as a replacement for a phone. The probability of a customer switching to a substitute product can be measured by: can looking outside the industry for a substitute product consider the cost of replacing the product for the buyer? You can switching costs, evaluate the performance and price point of substitute industry product, checking the likelihood of customer choosing of a substitute product. even it is expensive. To determine possible substitutes that threaten a company's profitability, that analyze must identify the factor that can push customers toward substitute product. So this is limitation of Porter's 5-force model in industry analysis. Some of the criticism of Porter 5-force framework, which reduce the meaningful of the model, are listed below. In economic sense, Porter 5-force framework assumes the power to act in a classical perfect market. In reality, however, the more regulated an industry is, the less meaningful insight for strategy can be gleaned from the model. Porter 5-force model is best applied to analyzing simple market structures, because a comprehensive description and analysis of the 5-force become difficult in complex industry with many linked by product and segment. Porter 5-force assume a relatively static market structure, which is almost not the case in today's dynamic market. So, for example, technological breakthrough and dynamic market in trends for startup or other industry can completely change business model. Barriers to entry and relationship along supply chain in a short period of time, which would hardly provide meaningful suggestion for countermeasures. Porter 5-force model is based on the idea competition. That is, it assumes a company exerts competitive advantage over each other in the market and also over supplier or customer. Those it does not really consider possible business strategies such as strategic alliances, electronic relation of information system of all companies along the value chain, virtual enterprise network, or other collaboration strategies. Porter 5-force do not clearly consider other market and industry factors such as unfair decarbonization and stable economy, government law, globalization, customer expectation, environmental condition. There are situations where a company is pushed toward an externally imposed strategy. This occurs when a company is driven by strong environmental force or factor. In such situation, use of the 5 threads model may be restricted to or more inclined to some of the 5 force. Analysis advantage of Porter's 5-force model in industry analysis. Below are the advantages of using Porter's 5-force model industry analysis. The main advantage of the 5-force model is ease of use. Using this model does not require any special technical skill or training. Porter's model is more specific than SWOT and PEST. It centers on the fact that this model provides a framework for determining the level of competition in a given market and how external forces affect firm performance. Compatibility with other analysis tool is another advantage of this model as a framework for external situation analysis. It can be used to support further as WUT or PEST analysis. So, the conclusion about Porter 5 force or Porter 5 force is a method used to identify and analyze competitive threats in industry that can help determine the strengths and weakness of the industry. This type of business analysis can be applied to various segments of the economy in order to understand the level of competition in industry and increase a company profit over the long term. Okay, thank you. This is the end of my PPT. I'm back. Give back to Miss Novita.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Wibi. Yeah, for our audience, if you wanna ask question, you can raise your hand or you can write in the room chat. Yeah, actually we have the question. This is from audience in the YouTube. For first question, this is question from Mr. Satya. How to deal with competitive competition in the industry, sir? Thank you.
All right. How to deal with competitive competition in the industry? In a business, we are knowing and identifying competitor is common thing to do. Not only that, when a brand can correctly map competitor, it will provide several advantages. For example, it allows us to further develop business plan, see business more realistically, to know the weakness of the business we are running, and understand what needs to be done to improve it. Mapping competitors does provide many benefits for the brand, but how can the brand know where it stands in relation to competitor? So you need to know important things to analyze this. First, you need to know the strengths of the brand. The first thing is important to do is we need to identify what are the strengths of the product or serving being offered. To find out this advantage, maybe one of the things we can do is to find out the positive values from the prospective internal parties. For example, by asking them, what are the positive values of our product or service? Is the product easy to use? Or maybe we can ask some other question about the product to our internal partner. When we already know the values from the internal side, we also need to find out the few are from the external side. Some of the things we can ask include what do customers like most about the product or service we offer? What makes our product or service better than competitor? And there are many other questions that we can ask external parties. The question can be important point for us to better understand the business we run, because if we don't know exactly what is the strength of the product, it will be difficult for us to form a unique marketing and branding strategy. In addition, knowing advantage of our product compared to our competitors, it's also important in order to sell this product to investor and to able to convince them the feasibility of the product, a service offered. And maybe second, you can identify product or service deficiency. In mapping competitors, we also need to know what our product doesn't have and what it lacks. Indeed, every product is not perfect and always require development. But if we know where this product can be developed, it will certainly be very helpful in running real business. And one of the things we can do to find out the shortcomings of our product is to define and which side the competitor product beats per product. And the last, you can see how our brand compares to competitors. Having studies, the direct and indirect competitors allow us to see what their strengths and weaknesses are. The way we will be able to take advantage of this advantage to strengthen the advantage of their product so that it can attract more potential customer. Knowing the weakness or definition compared to competitor will also be very helpful to find out where the competitor's product can be treat the product brand and to know what needs to be developed next so that the product can be preferred over that of competitor. Mapping competitor is indeed important and provide many benefits for a brand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering. And then for the last question, what should we do? I'm sorry. What should we do so that the product we sell are still in demand when many substitute products emerge? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What should we do so that the product we sell are still a demand when many substitute product emerge? Okay. Even though competitors seems like a negative thing for a business, it turned out there are various advantages that can be utilized from it, Yeah, you can turn the challenge you are currently facing into a way to face sharp business competition. There are various positive side of business competition that you can use a weapon against competitor. First, get to know your competitors. Knowing who your competitors and what they have to offer can help you create product, service, and marketing that stand out. This way of dealing with the competition will allow you to set your price competitively and create competitive marketing campaign. By knowing your competitor, you can create marketing strategies that take advantage of your competitor's weakness. In addition, you can also assess any risks of threat coming from new entrants and current competitor. Those you can be realistic about the chance of your business success in the mindset of today online business. And second, you need to know you know your customer. Did you know that as much 80% of business don't have enough data to build an effective marketing campaign? The majority of marketers do know the purchase pattern made by customers, which is certainly very useful to research. However, there is actually a lot of other information that can dig up to improve your business promotion strategy. And third, you understand the situation and condition of competition. How we understand competition? It is important to start by examining the market. First of all, what's everything the competitor do carefully and intently? Are they close to the customer, drive the sale? Do they have a unique and creative way promising the brand? And second, look at the things that competitors are not doing. See it as an opportunity, then try to build a strategy so that your business can feel the opportunity. And last, you can show the uniqueness of your product. Product unique can set you apart from competitors. That's why you have to determine the unique of your own product. One of the best way is the survey competitor, for example, to find out what is unique about them and how your business can stand out. Start the solving problem for the customer. For example, if you run a coffee shop, think about the problem customer might face. Perhaps one of them is the difficulty for customer to enjoy coffee at the poverty. From here, you can serve coffee in a package that is easy to hold and carry anywhere, so that customer will have no trouble in enjoying coffee while walking. Uh, by showing the uniqueness of your product, you will be able to face business competition in the maze of an online business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering. And then we will go to the second speaker, Mr. Omelianenko Vitalii, as a Doctor of Economy Associate Professor, Head of the Project Technology Center from Sumy State Pedagogical University from the Ukraine. Yeah, for Mr. Vitalii, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Rector and Vice Rector of Research of Sumy State Pedagogical University, I would like to express my gratitude for such initiatives of international cooperation and expanding research practices. Let me tell a few words about Sumy State Pedagogical University. It's a leading university in area of social science in Ukraine. We have 4-level higher education, bachelor, master, PhD, and postdoc studies. In our university, 2 national research projects are realized. First of them is devoted to the problems of sustainable development of old industrial territories of Ukraine. And the second project is devoted to the issues of smart infrastructure development. Also, we are cooperation with National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine, and my today's presentation is a result of this cooperation. So let me start. Do you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me speak today about industrial analytics and especially data management issues. The plan of my presentation is shown on the screen. Firstly, I propose to consider industry evolution and digitalization because it's a leading factor of industrial analytics development. Next, we will consider general issues of industrial analytics. Also, we will consider issues of industrial analytics management. Next, I'll show you some analytics cases. It will be cases from leaders of industrial analytics from all over the world. And lastly, I'll present some ideas for a Ukrainian project which will be realized from the next year. And the last, it will be discussions. When we are talking about industrial analytics, such key issues should be noted. The first issue deals with the idea that industrial analytics drives digital information. So it's a title of our today's meeting, and it's the main idea of industrial analytics management. Because for successful implementation of analytics, advanced analytics especially, a necessary amount of digital information. And this digital information can be obtained through the active digital transformation of industry. And such digital transformation can be considered as a driving force of industrial growth, because within Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0, industrial growth can be provided through using of some digital tools, artificial intelligence, and so on. And within these new conditions, digital technologies will transform every link in the industry value chain. We need also to mention active development of global value chains and international innovation networks. So we see that value chains becomes more wider, and that's why we need some appropriate technologies to manage them. So industrial analytics is one of the elements of modern industry evolution. Here I have shown the picture that illustrates industrial evolution from industry 1.0 to industry 4.0. And when we are talking about industry 4.0, we need to note the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and other advanced technologies. And the main feature of Industry 4.0 is cyber physical systems. Now we are at the stage of transition from Industry 4.0 to Industry 5.0, and this page illustrates how this transition is done. So here we see a focus on delivering customer experience, hyper customization, responsive and distributed supply chain, experience activated products, and return of manpower to factories. So each of these points requires some amount of digital information, and when we are talking especially about return of manpower to factories, we are talking about active management of some cyber physical systems. So here we can see main technologies of Industry 4.0. All these technologies are implemented for obtain smart products and smart services and to create smart factories. The composition, the selection of some technologies to technological package depends on industry specifics, but all successful industries use some of these technologies. And when we are talking about industrial analysis and industrial analytics, I propose to consider the case of automotive manufacturing sector. So we have analyzed cases in this sector, and we can highlight such challenges within transition to more modern industrial structures. So the first challenge is a higher downtime. It's minimizing the production downtime and the management of this issue becomes more complex when we have no necessary data about all production processes, and we cannot predict some changes or some problems. The next is data-driven insights. Lack of automation and analytics tools to collect data from sources and analyze data makes some problems to get insights. And when we are talking about such insights, we need to note that they are necessary for strategical decisions and operation management. The next point deals with the lack of holistic approach. Today, previous presenter have already told about the importance of such approach in strategic management. The next issue deals with paper-based processes. For some enterprises and firms, this problem remains important because there is some gaps in management. And the last point deals with workplace safety. This point is also important within high automated products production, but the experience proves that this problem remains important. Also, when we are talking about automotive manufacturing, we can consider such drivers of digital transformation. It's a technology disruptions, process automation, production quality, workplace safety, and the last, it's a connected supply chain. The general driver and factor of all given factors, it's a cyber security. So, and when we are talking about automotive production, we can name such advanced technologies that requires digital information and are very important for industrial analytics. The first technology package is a digital twin. It's one of the most disruptive technologies that been adopted by automotive manufacturers. And some of the important cases of the digital twin applications include detect product problems and find improvements well before they are produced, shorten development and test cycles by virtually testing and optimizing processes, generate data-driven insights by application of Internet of Things, simulation and predictive analytics. Industrial Internet of Things. It's a integrated technology closing the physical to digital gap by bringing people, processes, and products together. So it's such a holistic approach for digitalization and industrial management. This technology helps in making better decisions by collecting analog or digital data using various sensors, advanced analytical algorithms, and all these help to get some insights to improve our operation efficiency. Here, some of the important use cases include track assets, analyzing data, and using cloud platforms to monitor and automate control of industrial process. Machine vision is oriented to collect data in real time and perform edge analytics using high-end camera systems and sensors. Machine vision can help us to identify some products, parts, and some points, patterns, process quality control in our production line, and monitor factories for workplace safety. Virtual reality is also one of prospective technologies. Here in the page, I have shown some analytics from Deloitte about forecasts of these technology applications. And generally, virtual reality technologies can help to solve some skill gaps or to help in some education issues. Also, it can help to reduce training times and to increase productivity of our workers. And also it can help to manage of remote collaboration, technical support, and maintenance. So the last point is very important when we are talking about innovation networks and cooperation between organizations, especially in international level. Also, we need to underline the role of automated guided vehicles. So it's also one of the prospective technologies that is oriented to digital data management. And when we have analyzed cases, we can consider three main areas of challenges of industrial analytics and data management. So the first challenge is data and system integration. The next challenge is data analytics, and the third one is management and organization. Generally, industrial analytics can be considered on two levels. The first level is macro analytics that can help especially government, industrial parks, and so on to improve the industrial strategies. Here I can mention UniRank industrial analytics platform. It's an innovative tool that provide cross-national comparative studies on different industrial development issues. Here I have shown a link to this platform. And in our studies, we are using the data from UniRank Industrial Analytics platform to make some research using information from other international indexes, especially from the International Competitiveness Index, International Digitalization Index, and from this analysis, we can obtain some interesting insights for national industrial policy. And the second level of industrial analytics, it's a micro level, so it's a level of some enterprise, firm, or innovation networks. And why is data analytics key for company? First of all, in modern conditions, any production or industrial enterprise have a huge amount of data, and this data is generated from different machines, processes, and people. And to make successful development decisions in various aspects of company development, we need to have a complex view on all processes, and we need to have all data in a real matter. The data analytics in this area gives complex information about how our company works. And the data and successful application of data is the first step to be able to act and to optimize what is necessary in our company. So generally, data analytics is a great tool to optimize our company performance. Here I have shown the most important trends in digital transformation for the future of industry. They are investment in industrial digital transformation will continue to grow. So more companies understand the opportunity of digital transformation and digital information, and that's why they are using different decisions, different tools to improve their capacity in this area. Significant opportunities in the Internet of Things. So here I have shown the some forecasts for this year of using Internet of Things. The next point deals with strategical view, and we need to know that it will not only be about technology when we are talking about digital transformation and industrial analytics, but also about people. In previous page, we have considered industry 5.0 trends, and one of that trends deals with the new role of people in production, in industrial production. And the next, that artificial intelligence and machine learning will make some important change in manufacturing. The fifth point deals with the new concept product as services, and to manage these services in various business processes, we also need to have some digital information. Also, some of these trends are oriented on using of 5G as a new tool for communication management. Also, we need to mention artificial intelligence and some IT skills gaps. And the last point is cybersecurity and data privacy. General conclusion from the presented trends can be that the data is a driver of digital transformation. So we need to have all necessary data, and to have this data, we need to use some digital solutions and to make transformation in our industrial enterprise. Here I have shown the main ideas that are connected with the industrial manufacturing data. First of all, industrial manufacturing generates huge amounts of operational data at high speeds. So when we are talking about the big enterprise or big plant, we have great data, and that's why we need to have some tools for their management. The next point deals with the context of manufacturing data, and experts note that context is a king of analytics. So not have all information and data about our industrial enterprise, it's not enough. We need to use all this data to make some decisions, to make some correction in our strategy, to make some operation decisions, and so on. The next point deals with the near real-time data obtaining. When we are talking about production line and some predictive models, the time is really important for some decisions and for some corrections. And the last point here, it's illustration of some unique challenges, and this can be a base for some case studies of some enterprise, and this point is also important for understanding that every enterprise or firm need to have some specific technological package, and this technological package should contain all necessary technologies that will support general strategy of this enterprise and to make successful decisions for production strategy and for general enterprise strategies. So here I have shown the main issues of industrial analytics definitions. So generally, industrial analytics refers to the process of collecting, analyzing, and using data taken from industrial operations. So it's the most complete definitions of industrial analytics. So here we see that to collect data from industrial operations, we need to use various sources of this data, and these sources can be considered as a part of technological package of enterprise. So today we have already told about industrial analytics and enterprise analytics. And here I have shown the difference between these two types of analytics. The better way is when these types of analytics are used together and they can complete each other for some areas. So components of industrial analytics, they are data collections, data preparation, data analysis, and visualization for better understanding. And also industrial analytics have a hard and soft part. And to manage all these parts, we need to have a good vision from people and management of our enterprise. The next page show us in the industrial data hub. It's a general scheme from the expert of LNS company, but this scheme is very important for understanding the general logic of industrial analytics, especially hard and soft its parts, and also based on this data hub, each enterprise can make its own data hub based on specific requirements and some features of production of this company. So here we can see enterprise data lake and various tools of data management. All these tools are grouped within 3 dimensions. It's data governance, data operations, and data quality. So here we can see such a network approach for industrial data analytics, and also here we can see that the various tools and solutions can be used for different purposes of industrial analytics. So key components of industrial analytics here, it's more complicated approach based on the industrial data hub. So to make successful analytical systems, we need to have data collection, integration, and analysis. It's not enough to only connect necessary data. We need to integrate data and to make analysis, and when implement the results of this analysis in some decisions. Here I have shown the main types of data analytics. They are descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. These types of data analytics can be used separately, or they can be used in some complex when we have some problem and we need to solve it. And in the next page, the description of these types of data analytics is shown. So the descriptive analytics, it's a snapshot of time. Diagnostic, it's real-time visualization. Predictive analytics, it's forward-looking optimizing. And the prescriptive analytics is to optimize production based on the past experience. So here I have shown more wider context of different types of analytics and examples of companies which are using this analytics. Using some type of analytic can be a part of general strategy of company, and it can be one of the main successful factors. And here we can
Pardon,
see
sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, for the time is 10 minutes again for remembering.
okay. So I will tell the main points of my presentation. So when we are talking about the management of in industrial analytics, we can name the 3 stages of maturity of our analytical systems. So each company can identify its own stage, and also it can develop a further strategy. To develop the further strategy, we need to consider the level of localization of our industrial analytics system. So it can be level of plant, enterprise, and cloud. Here I have summarized the different approach for the evaluation criteria and the area of implementation of such industrial decisions. So when we are talking about the industry 5.0, the cloud level becomes more useful for us, because first of all, it can help to manage cooperation between the different enterprises, between the different units of some enterprise, as well as the cooperation within the international network. And the last, I can name the cases of industrial analytics. These cases illustrate that industrial analytics are important for all sectors, but for successful implementation of these decisions, we need to use some sectoral industrial analysis and to make implementation of different analytical decisions depending on the specific of business process, especially customer relationship and so on. So you can see the cases of mining, life sciences, food and beverage, healthcare companies, food safety, and different industrial companies. So the general idea of implementation of industrial analytics solution is can be demonstrated on example of Artifactor company. It's a consulting company in the area of industrial analytics, and it's shown on this page. So the first stage in implementation of such solution is identification data relevant for some platform, and it can be done on the level of enterprise. The next stage, it's using latest technology stock and some solutions that can help to manage our data. And the last stage is the choosing of the visualization tools that can help us to make some decisions. So when we are talking about the Ukrainian experience, from the next year, we will implement industrial analytics in 5 industrial parks. These parks will be oriented on the rebuilding after the war, and the main principle of this industrial park creation will be building back better. Building back better. Within these industrial parks, industrial analytics will be used for implementation of smart infrastructure solutions. So it will be used different sensors, energy management tools to improve the efficiency of processes of industrial park. So, and the conclusion from my presentation. First of all, industrial data analytics can streamline industrial process. Industrial analytics is both created by and rely on digital transformation. Understanding types of industrial data analysis can mean the difference between reacting to something, to some problem, and also can be a tool for the further development of our enterprise. And the choosing some tools and some structure of industrial data analysis depends on our current stage and our vision for further development of our company. Thank you. I'm ready to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you for thank you for wonderful presentation, sir. And then, yeah, we have the question from Miss Felix Panjaitan. Digital marketing is a disruption that continue to grow, especially in technology with the use of AI. For example, ChatGPT. What needs to be done by marketers to be able to keep abreast of the development of this disruption? Thank you.
So thank for this question. So when we are talking about the application of AI, especially Chat GPT, we need to know that the final solution is made by the human. And so when we are talking about especially digital marketing, so digital marketing is only the part of general marketing strategy, and the general marketing strategy is a part of our general company strategy. AI is only some tool of marketing. And that's why we and in my presentation I have told that enterprise should have a technological package, and marketing tools is only the part of this package. Industrial analytics is a part of this package, but this package should be created based on our strategy, on the specific of our production process, and it can be also oriented on the specific of our relationship with customers.
Okay, thank you. And then the next question: what effort can company make to improve their digital marketing content if this company is a new brand on this year? This question from Ms. Sukamto, audience in the YouTube.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
What the effort can company make to improve their digital marketing content if this company is new brand on this year?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank for your question. So your question is example of real-time data. So to have this data, we need to have some pool of customers which are closely involved in our marketing tools. So it's like experimental production, and here we are talking about experimental marketing. And so when we will be in close connection with this group of consumers, we can have all necessary data from them, and also some advanced analytical tools can help us in this area. But here we need to have a close cooperation with shops and so on.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professora. Yeah, and then we will go to the last speaker, Dr. Husna Sarirah Husin, as a senior lecturer, head of research and innovation section from University Kuala Lumpur in the Malaysia. Yeah, for Dr. Husna, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Okay, so my topic today is industrial analytics driving digital transformation. Okay, I am from University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian Institute of Information Technology, or UKL MIT. So before I start my presentation, I would like to convey my deepest appreciation and thanks to STEKOM University for inviting me and my other colleagues before this. So hopefully you can learn something from my presentation today. And thank you for the previous presentations by Mr. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name, but the presentation on Porter's 5 forces on digital analysis, and also by Mr. Vitalii on industrial analytics and IR 4.0, focusing on automotive manufacturing. It's very interesting. I've learned a lot, and hopefully this presentation will be beneficial to all of you. Okay, so basically my presentation is about how data analytics or industrial analytics is a drive towards digital transformation. So what is digital transformation? Okay, so digital transformation can be defined as incorporating digital technologies in all parts of business areas. And the result is a fundamental change in how business function and how you cooperate, how you interact with your customers. Okay, so it's a radical thinking on how an organization uses technology in conjunction with processes and people to change business performance. Okay, and the digital transformation can generate huge amount of heterogeneous data across the industrial value chain, from simulation data in engineering, over sensor data in manufacturing, to telemetry data on product use. So for our case in academics, in universities, the digital transformation starts with like online learning, online platform, where we can actually get the data from the server to understand how the students and also the lecturers navigate the online learning platform, and how to improve how to improve the access and also the functionalities of the platform. Okay, so extracting the insights from all these different parts of data constitutes the critical success factor for industrial enterprises. Okay, so before we go into industrial analytics, let's go into what is data analytics. Okay, so data analytics is the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. So raw data, if you are talking about manufacturing, we can take raw data as all the number of production for the day. If you are talking about e-commerce or sales or retail industry, number of sales, number of output, number of input. Okay, and here is a short explanation on, on the data analytics process. Okay, so first, before if we want to start any analytics or data analytics process or phases, so we have to do a data collection. Okay, so we establish the parameters for data categorization, and then we can gather data from several sources. Okay, so the data can be stored in your servers, in your data storage, in the cloud. Okay, and once the data have been collected, we will filter the data and ensure there are no errors, there are no outliers, okay, there are no overlaps, there are no typos, and then we can evaluate the data to ensure that it isn't lacking in any details. Okay, once the data filtering has been completed, and then we will perform the data analysis. So the popular software that we use nowadays is we can either use R, which is an open source software. Okay, I use R a lot in my data analysis. Okay, Python also, many people are using Python as well. Excel, and if you are talking about statistical analysis, you use SPSS, use SAS. Okay, so this data analysis, from the data analysis, we will identify the trends and also what are the patterns that we can find from our data. Okay, so once the analysis is performed, we can do visualization. That means from this analysis, we will convert it into visualization of plots or pie charts or scatter chart, bar plot. Okay, so this will be into graphics for the management and the employees or the customer to better understand what the data is all about. Okay, and finally, this from the visualization that we have created, the management will go through the recommendations and decide whether to proceed or not and make decision. We can also do forecasting or prediction based on our data. So basically, this is the process of data analytics. Okay, so I think previously the previous speaker has talked about the 5 types of analytics. Okay, actually, I think in his slide there's 4 types. Okay, so these are the basic types of analytics. So the first one, we have the this one. Okay, where we want to know what is happening, and usually this descriptive analytics is used by almost all organizations. Okay, for example, from sales report, okay, you want to find, you want to see the monthly profit and loss, okay, demographic information. So in terms of statistical, the descriptive analytics will include your mean, median, mode, standard deviation. Okay, so it's just to describe the data, and then we just tell you what is the highest, what is the lowest. Okay, then we go to diagnostic analytics, which is the second types of data analytics. It's also used by many organizations as well, where usually this is to tell you why is it happening, to identify what are the factors and causes. For example, in descriptive analytics, you have your sales report. Okay, and your sales report shows you that there is a decrease from this month's sales compared to the sales from last month. Okay, so in diagnostic analytics, we would want to know what are the causes of the decrease in the sales. Is it because of less marketing or something happened? So this diagnostic analytics is to identify the factors and the causes. Okay, as we go up to the pyramid, then the next one is predictive analytics. So from the word here, predictive means you are predicting something. Okay, so these predictive analytics are mainly used by smaller but growing group of organizations. So for example, we use sales forecasting, time series analysis, okay, churn prevention, and also risk assessment. Okay, so we can employ machine learning algorithms to do all this prediction. Okay, and then the next type is prescriptive. Okay, so this is more like a recommendation or advice on what action should be taken. So you know the numbers, you know the cost, and you want to do prediction. Okay, you have the forecast and the prediction. So the next one is, what is the advice? What are you going to do with all this data? What will you do based on this data? Okay, so this prescriptive analytics basically is recommending one or more possible courses of action that will take advantage of the prediction. So usually it will be based on the predictive analytics. Okay, and the latest types of analytics is called adaptive and autonomous. Okay, so another name for it is also called cognitive analytics. Okay, so in this adaptive and autonomous analytics is where we want to see how does the system adapt to changes and how can we run analytic solutions on a continuous mode. So we are constantly learning and also correcting behavior. Okay, for example, ChatGPT is one of them because you keep on feeding data to the system. So the system will learn and will provide you more accurate results. Okay, also autonomous car driving. So as if you keep on practicing, not practicing, if you keep on do more simulation on the autonomous car driving, then they will have more use cases that they can use. Okay, so I hope that is clear on the different types of data analytics and industrial analytics, which is the theme for our conference today. Okay, so basically industrial analytics, as described by the previous speaker, is actually an interdisciplinary subject area between data science and industrial engineering, and is at the core of Industry 4.0. So basically industrial analytics is used in manufacturing area because you have a lot of data in manufacturing industry. Okay, so we will combine the data analytics and also the industrial engineering, which is in IR 4.0. So according to this research by Zion Market Research, the industrial analytic market is expected to jump to 37 billion by 2024. So now we are already 2023, okay, and up from 12.8 billion in 2017. Okay, so this study was actually done a while ago, so I'm sure the numbers have changed as well. Okay, so over the last decade, the industrial analytics market has transitioned from reactive to proactive, means not just waiting for things to happen, but the industrial analytics are becoming more proactive, more opportunistic, and now to predictive and or prescriptive. That means not just at the bottom of the pyramid, not just on descriptive and also diagnostic, but they are going up of the pyramid on predictive and also prescriptive. Okay, so how does industrial analytics can drive towards digital transformation? Okay, so for a digital transformation to be successful, you need to implement the right data strategy, the proper technology, and also sufficient infrastructure to modernize your company and become a more competitive and agile player in the marketplace. So this will require technology, digital process, and also organizational change. And also require a focus on data and analytics, because these are the two key accelerants of any digital transformation effort. Okay, so if you're talking about digital transformation, so there are four main types of digital transformation. So the first one is transforming the business process. So what is business process transformation? Is how you change how the way your company does its day-to-day operation. Okay, so for example, you adapt to a new technology such as mobile devices, apps. Okay, like right now in Malaysia, if you go to the restaurant, most of the restaurant, they don't have their menu anymore. If you want to order your food, you have to scan the QR code on the table. Okay, so it's actually sometimes a bit, some of the old people especially, they don't like it because it's very small to see the fonts in your mobile phone, and sometimes it will be slower because of the Wi-Fi connection. Okay, so this is one example of business process. The process from having a waiter coming to your table and asking for what you want to order, you just have to order it yourself by scanning the QR code. Okay, so that is one example of business process transformation. The second the second types of digital transformation is on business model, is meaning how you can improve the business and to generate and deliver value. Okay, for example, this is to reinvent the business model, including changing how the company creates and deliver the products and services. Okay, so I'm sure now everybody has Netflix, everybody watches Netflix, and before Netflix comes around, they were actually involved in businesses of CDs and DVDs and renting videos. So now instead of that, you have the live streaming shows where you are based on subscription. So they transform their business model entirely. Okay, and the third one is cross-domain, where you expand an organization's reach into new areas of business. Okay, so that means if you are an education industry, okay, let's say for us in universities, we may do something else. Okay, so maybe if the university is focusing on agriculture, for example. So instead of just relying on the agriculture industry around them, they become part of the industry as well, or they invest in the agriculture industry. So the students and the lecturers can actually apply whatever they learn in their syllabus. Okay, and then you have cultural transformation, which is also very important because for any industry to achieve long-term digital transformation, the mindset, the process, the talent, and capabilities must be redefined. Okay, so in cultural transformation is how you change the way people think about their work. Okay, it's not just a burden to them, but it should be their passion, their livelihood, how they approach the problems, and how they collaborate with other industries, with other partners and collaborators as well. Okay, and another way in terms of industrial engineering or industrial analytics is about shifting organizational culture from producer-oriented, which focus on efficiency and productivity, to consumer-oriented, focus on value creation. That means you want to serve what does your customer demands from you. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we get a successful digital transformation? The first thing is that you have a properly defined data strategy. So it's not just about data, it's about how your plan should reach out to people, understand the processes, and then have the proper technology in order for you to get the successful digital transformation. Okay, so a defined data strategy can support your digital transformation by answering these questions like, how can you use data to support your business goals and solve business problems? Okay, sometimes you have abundance of data in your company, in your organization, but those data are not used at all. You don't know what's the use of the data or how should you analyze the data. Okay, so instead of doing something that is out of reach, maybe it is something that's already within your reach, and also how you can optimize your data to achieve your business goal. And where is this data sourced from, and is it of good quality? So usually raw data needs to be processed, and data processing or pre-processing will take quite some effort and also some time before it can be a good quality and before you can actually use it for data analysis. Okay, and what processes are required to ensure data is high quality and accessible, and also what kind of technology that you are going to use to store, because you have a lot of data. How are you going to store the data? How are the users going to access the data, share the data, and finally analyze and also make use of the data? Okay, so a defined data management plan will support your digital transformation. So once you have your data strategy in place, you need to define how you will manage your data, especially if your goal to solve business problems such as eliminating data silos and also reducing data quality issues. So an effective data management plan will define how to manage, secure, and use your data throughout its complete life cycle. So we have to start from the first step until the end, until the complete life cycle, and also to enable the business users to have access to meaningful data and analytics, and ultimately empower them to drive forward business objectives. Okay, and while you are excited about doing your data management plan, you also have to consider a change management plan, especially if you want to promote user adoption. The likelihood of meeting the digital transformation business goal is low. So, for example, if you have heard about knowledge management, okay, so knowledge management is actually a very popular trend a few years ago, 10 or 15 years ago, but without a proper change management plan, it will not be effectively or successfully implemented in the business environment. Okay, so make sure your data plan is effective, and also you have to include how you can communicate your data to your users, to your top management. Okay, and it has to be part of the organization's overall strategy. That means creating a culture that promote the data and also embrace the data as well. Okay, so besides all those other things that I have stated before, so there are other key technologies that driving digital transformation, okay, such as IoT, which was explained by the previous speaker, blockchain technology as well, and also edge computing. Okay, and here, although we are very excited, we want to transform our company, we want to have data analytics, okay, so, but the company or the organization has to be aware or have to consider some of the challenges when doing the digital transformation. Okay, the first one is the siloed decision making, meaning that each department or each section, they don't interact with each other. So siloed means they just do it on your own. So there's no integration, there's no smooth transition between the departments. Okay, and then some organizations, they still use legacy system. It is still working very well, but somehow it is actually hard to integrate with the latest technology. Okay, they don't use internet, but maybe it's just a legacy system. Okay, and when you open yourself to the internet, you will have increased security risks, and I'm sure there's a lot of cybersecurity threats all over the place. Okay, and also talent shortage now. Data analytics, industrial analytics is a new thing. Okay, data science is a new trend. So not many people are available, but there's a lot of jobs. Okay, so if you are interested in data analytics, data science, then go for it, because it is still in demand, and I think it will still be in demand in the coming years to come. Okay, looming digital skill gap. So you may know programming, but you don't know statistics, or you are not good in mathematics. Okay, so there are some gaps between the talent. Insufficient budget is another obstacle or challenge that has to be faced by the organization, and also the culture by the organization itself, where they are afraid to take the risk. Okay, they just want to play safe. They don't want to invest because of the insufficient budget. They don't have enough talent. Okay, so they just want to sit down and just do their routine work. Okay, so in conclusion, digital transformation is transforming the business landscape in 2023 and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. So businesses that prioritize digital information will be well positioned to remain competitive and meet the changing needs of their customers. So as you look to start your digital transformation program, remember that data and analytics is not just where you start, it is the thread that carries your company through the transformation and allows you to change with the market. Okay, so here's the list of the references I use, and also I also put the references at the footnote. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me at my email. Thank you very much for your attention and your time.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Dr. Husna. And then for
Welcome.
our audience, if you wanna ask question, you can raise your hand or you can write in the room chat. Oh. Okay, for first question, what
Yes.
are the advantages of implementing digital-based technology in the business you are running? This is question from Lia. Thank you.
What is the importance of implementing? Sorry again. Can you repeat?
Implementing digital-based technology in the business you are running.
Oh, okay. The importance of implementing digital-based technology. Of course, it's very important because everything is digital. Okay, so let's say if you want to do marketing, so maybe 20, 30 years ago, you can go from door to door, but now by just using the social media, you can reach many more people at just one click. Okay, all right. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
there's another one here at the chat, I think.
Yeah, this is from Setia Budi.
Mm-hmm.
In your presentation, there is a sentence that digital transformation ultimately change the organizational culture from producer to consumer. Do you mean organizational culture internally of or just a moment ketutup or customer service? Can you give an example of one of the digital transformation that has been implemented and connect with culture in Malaysia? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Setia Budi. So yes, in my presentation, there's a sentence talking about stating that the changes are organizational culture from producer to consumer. Okay, so now we are more consumer oriented. Okay, you always want to whatever that you produce will be based on the consumer's demand. Okay, so you make an organizational culture internally or for customer service. So this is if you in your question here, in this case, if you are focusing on your consumer, that means the culture and also the basis of the organization probably will be changed. Let's say before this, the customer just have their, if they want to promote something, they will print out brochures or flyers. But now you can have it on the website, or you can send through emails. Here are digitalization of the industry, and you can also track, especially if you send your emails or website, you can see how many people respond to your marketing, especially on online advertising. You can see all the different analytics. Okay, and one of the digital transformation that has been implemented and connected with culture in Malaysia. Okay, digital transformation in Malaysia, I think there's a lot. I can see that now, like what I mentioned in my presentation just now, in Malaysia, if you go to the restaurant, there's no more menu. We have to scan the QR code to order. Okay, so the culture of ordering the food is different now. And also, since COVID, because of the pandemic, people are more comfortable by ordering food. We have Grab Food and Food Panda here. I think before pandemic, people still like to go out and have their dinner and have their lunch, meet their friends. But now the culture is changed. I can see that a lot of people prefer to order food online. Okay, and the malls in Malaysia last time when I was younger, the malls would be packed in the weekends. The food court will be packed, but now there are lesser customer, and there's a lot of places that have been closed. People prefer online shopping somehow, food or fashion. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Setia Budi. Okay, next question.
The next question from Cholis Hidayati.
Hmm.
Industrial
Okay,
analyst request deep data science expertise together with a full understanding of the process manufacturing industry. What should company to do to adapt this new technology regarding the human resource? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Hidayati. Okay, so you're asking about how technology, how should human resource adapt this technology, right? Okay, there's a lot of things human resource can do. One of the way is job placement, where you can now find the job online. There's a lot of job sites for you to find your jobs. Okay, and people can get actually create their CVs, their resumes online, and the companies that are looking for potential talent, they don't have to advertise so much. They just advertise at their job site. So in Malaysia, I think they have Job Street, and then I think monster.com, and I'm sure in Indonesia, there's a lot of job site companies where the potential candidate would find the jobs, and you can have access to so many companies. Like last time when I finished my degree long time ago, when I was looking for a job, I would use the newspaper. Okay, so now even the newspaper company is no longer around. Okay, you only have online news. So for human resource, they can use the job sites to find the talents, and also the filtering process would be much easier because usually you can filter what are the requirements for that particular job. I hope that answers your question, Miss Hidayati.
Yeah, thank you for answering
Thank
me,
you.
Dr. Husna. Yeah, and then the last question, this is question
Okay.
for Dr. Vitalii.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for Dr. Vitalii, how to get manufacturing data from a traditional or classic or old model manufacturer? Is it relevant in Industry 4.0? This is question from Adi Nugroho. Thank you.
Thank for this question. So yes, really the challenge to combine digital and traditional data is present for many enterprises. But the general logic of modern industries is to complete digitalization. So here we can name such ways to solve this problem. First way is to try digitalize the traditional data. The next way is to combine traditional data and digital data because first of all the decision is made by human, and that's why human can use both type of data, traditional and digital data. So it depends on individual strategy of enterprise and existing organizational and digital culture in it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think we don't have no more question again from audience. Yeah, before I close this event, I will go to continue for the time take a picture. Yeah, for everyone, please open your camera. Ya, bagi para peserta bisa dinyalakan terlebih dahulu untuk kameranya. Okay, I will count of 3, 2, 1. One again. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Yeah, finally, we come to the end of the webinar today. We would like to say thanks again for all the speaker for the wonderful information. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for our audience. And I hope we can meet again at another event in the future. Also, I would like to thanks for all participants for attending this webinar today and making this event more interesting. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future. The webinar for today and here, we hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day for Dr. Husna, Vitalii, and Dr. Wibi.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Novita. So beautiful.